So, today we're going to tackle a really fascinating contradiction. How can someone who truly believes that technology is advancing faster than ever also be a huge critic of AI alarmism? I mean, it seems like those two things shouldn't go together, right? But the answer? Well, it unlocks a whole new way of thinking about AI risk. And this right here, this quote, is the key. It's simple, it's blunt, and honestly, it forces us to look at the entire problem of AI risk from a completely different angle. So let's dive in and really unpack what this means. Okay, so here's the central puzzle. On one hand, you have a belief in super-fast technological progress. On the other, a rejection of the idea that this progress will lead to an AI apocalypse. Now, you'd think those two ideas would be total opposites. But what if I told you they actually come from the exact same mental model? The secret isn't about how fast the tech is moving. It's about understanding how it actually works in the real world. And that brings us to what we're calling the Strangelove Paradox. See, the answer isn't about fearing the technology itself. It's about changing how we think about it. It's about moving from this vague, anxious vibe about AI to a really clear nuts and bolts analysis of systems. So, what this really boils down to are two totally different mindsets. The alarmist view, it kind of treats AI like a movie character, right? A single conscious being with its own secret plans. But a systems thinker, they see something completely different. They see tools, they see code pipelines, APIs, user interfaces, and most importantly, they see human beings at every single step of the process. So let's take the classic ultimate doomsday scenario. Someone says, I'm terrified that a super powerful AI will just wake up one day and decide to launch all the mooks. I mean, it's a scary thought, but it treats AI like some kind of magical, all-powerful ghost in the machine. A systems thinker hears that and immediately starts asking a totally different kind of question. Their first question isn't, why would the AI do that? It's a much more practical one. Hang on, who actually connected the AI model to the nuclear launch controls in the first place? And they don't stop there. The next question is, okay, let's say it's connected. Who gave it the authority to actually execute that command? What clearance level does it have? And who is the person that signed off on giving it that permission? And finally, the big one. Who was the human being or the team of human beings that looked at this entire crazy setup and said, yep, looks good, let's push this live? And all of a sudden, you're not talking about some magical AI agent anymore. You're left with a clear paper trail, a chain of very human decisions. And this really gets to the core of it. AI is a tool. It's an incredibly powerful, complex tool, for sure, but it's still a tool. It doesn't want things. It doesn't have desires. It has objectives that we give it, and it's designed to amplify the intent of the person or the organization that's wielding it. The focus shifts from the tool itself to the user. Okay, to make this idea really concrete, let's talk about the perfect case study. It's a film that gets brought up all the time in these conversations, but it's almost always completely misunderstood. Dr. Strangelove. You know, people tend to remember Dr. Strangelove as a story about a smart, evil machine that decides to end the world. But that's not the movie at all. The real horror in that film isn't artificial intelligence. It's abdicated human responsibility. The movie is a massive warning sign about what happens when we build incredibly powerful systems we can't control, and then just walk away. And the film gives us this perfect three-step recipe for how it all went wrong. First, you build a powerful doomsday device, but you tell no one how it works or how to turn it off. Second, you build in irreversibility. You literally design it so there's no off switch. And third, the thing that kicks it all off isn't the machine. It's a paranoid, flawed human general who starts the whole unstoppable chain reaction. You see? Every single step is a human systems failure. And this is the key takeaway from the whole movie. The Doomsday Machine wasn't the villain. It was a perfectly obedient tool. It performed its function flawlessly, and that's precisely what made it so terrifying. It did exactly what its human creators told it to do, no questions asked. So how does a Cold War satire from the 60s connect to AI today? Well, the lessons are actually shockingly relevant to the challenges we're facing right now with all sorts of automated systems. You see, the real warning from Dr. Strangelove isn't automation is evil or anything like that. It's a much more practical engineering and policy lesson. Never, ever build a powerful system that you cannot stop, override, or roll back. Don't take the human out of the loop when the stakes are this high. And look, this isn't science fiction. We are building these kinds of brittle, irreversible systems right now. Think about software pipelines that deploy code without a final human check. Think about automated systems that can put someone on a sanction list or a no-fly list and offer no clear way to appeal. These are our modern doomsday machines, just operating at a different scale. So this is why it's so crucial to reframe the problem. The real risk isn't some magical, super intelligent AI that spontaneously decides to turn on us. The real tangible risk is a very human failure of governance, of oversight, and of basic system design. And you know what the good news is? That's a problem we can actually solve. Okay, so this all brings us to the final and maybe the most important point. This entire systems thinking approach, it's fundamentally about accountability. It's about refusing to blame the tool for what the user does. So to sum it up, why does this viewpoint push back so hard against alarmism? Well, first, it doesn't give AI human-like qualities it just doesn't have. Second, it understands that real-world power flows through people and institutions, not just code. It knows that disasters are a mix of social choices and technical failures. They're not magic. And maybe most importantly, it refuses to let us humans off the hook for the things we build. And that brings us right back to where we started. This motto should make perfect sense now. The AI is just one part of the system. The real catastrophic stupidity isn't in the algorithm. It's in the human decision to connect that algorithm to a nuclear weapon without any safeguards. Honestly, there's a perfect analogy for this. It's basically a systems engineer's way of saying guns don't pull their own triggers. We all get that. A gun is a tool, and the person holding it is the one who's responsible. This view just applies that same exact logic to AI, even if it's a bit more complex. So ultimately, I want to leave you with a different question to think about. Let's stop asking the sci-fi question, will AI kill us? And start asking the engineering and governance question. Are we building systems that we can't control? Because the real danger isn't that our tools will wake up one day and hate us. The real danger is that we, through convenience or ambition or just plain negligence, will build systems that take away our own ability to just say stop. And that's a choice, not an inevitability.